So I'm going to play around a little bit more with some font options just to show you kind of a variety of different font options we can choose from. So I'm just making that a little smaller. I'm going to group those together and then copy. Then I can go ahead and I can actually make a couple copies of this. So I can kind of play around with different font options and see which one I think really pairs well together. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in. And I'm going to click on all three and then ungroup them. Or maybe I have to do it individually. Okay, so here's our first one. We'll leave that one as is. That's a nice pairing. Let's just play around with some other options. And so you'll notice this is a serif font. This is also a serif font. So you can see that definitely doesn't go well together. So it's really nice to keep one a serif and one a sans serif. So let's change this one to a sans serif font. Let's see if we can find something really strong. Something bold. And let's find something really thin down here to counterbalance that. That has a serif to it. You know, that has potential. I like how this is a little more condensed and this is a little bit taller. That's a really nice balance. And if I add a little spacing and bring this out a little bit, you know, that can pair well. I can almost see this being a smaller, let's see, this is where we're just going to play around. Cooper Hewitt's always a nice, dependable sans serif. I think I'll go back to what I had. Let's try this one out. That could work well. Let me go back. Let's see what we had in the beginning that had that nice condensed. So Archivo Black. So I think we'll go ahead and stick with that one. And let's see what other kind of font pairings. I'm going to try something a little different. I'm going to do uncap. I'm going to do lowercase for this one. And I'm going to bring the spacing a little tighter back to kind of its original spacing, which would be right here at 0. And we're going to play around with maybe a script font or an italic. You know, that looks really nice. And so let me copy. And let's keep trying some different options. I really like that. Let's go down here and see if we can do a script font. Let's see if we can find one that we really like that may add a little bit more of a softer touch to this headline. That could work if that's the style you're going for, a youthful, fun style. But I think this is going to be a higher end brand that we're going to develop an ad for. So I'm going to go with something a little more elegant. That has potential. Sometimes if I really like this portion of a script font, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and do a lowercase n and see if it looks a little bit better instead of having an uppercase. In this case, I don't like the font, so we'll just kind of move on. Looking for a script font. Euphoria script. Let's check that one out, see if we think it looks well. Let's try one more. Grand Hotel. I always like this one. It looks a little strange for what we're going for. So it looks like maybe a script font might not work for what we're going for. We're going to try one more. I got one more chance here. Ooh, Pacifico. Let's see how that looks. That has some potential. So I look at kind of our font pairings that we just did. And I could do a script for the bottom, but I think having a script for this top smaller word works a little bit better. I think overall I really like the original. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete those. And we have our headline, so I'm going to group that together. And we can really start to work on this a little bit more, but I'm just kind of playing around with font pairings to see what works really well.